So are you also thinking internet to go to TV? Or did everybody look the other way after Quarter Life?
Quarter Life?
Yeah.
It's funny because we saw sort of Quarter Life happening, and I spoke to some people that were friends of the creators saying, they figured out the model, and I kept saying, are they making money? And they're like, they figured out the model. I'm like, but are they making money? Like, if you can't make money off of it, they just spent like $1 million on the pilot. They're the only ones who can afford to do that. And nobody saw it. I mean, people saw it out of curiosity, but I don't know anybody who went back to watch it again. I think that you can't repurpose content for either medium. There was a great article in Deadline Hollywood about everybody jumping on the new media bandwagon, and they described it best when they said. I can talk forever about this, so you tell me.
No, we're very interested. We've had everybody else talking about all the other stuff.
Okay, good.
The boring stuff. So.
Everybody wants to jump into new media because it's an untapped market. And it's also the audience that's not going to the movies because they have 60-inch plasmas. And they're not watching TV because they have either iTV hooked up to their computer and they can watch YouTube on their TV or whatever. But Gossip Girl is a great example where a lot of their young viewers are watching it online, and a lot of their like 25 and up viewers are actually watching it on TV. Like, I love it, but I want to watch it on TV on the big screen TV. But teenage kids want to watch it on their computer. New media is like a comic book or a video game. You don't take the feature content and repurpose it and make it into a comic book. You take the universe it's in and the concept and the characters, and you tell another story that's fitting for that medium.
Right.
So for that particular model, we've thought of we have a TV show that we're developing with the studio, and we said, okay, we need to be online. And we want those people online to come and watch our show. And the only way you're going to do that is giving them content online that deals with the universe, makes the universe and the concept so compelling that they want more, which is how you get them to buy like video games off of the Batman movie. So you take, let's say, if you take Star Wars as an example, you take the story of the Ewoks and you tell an online story about the Ewoks. And in the Ewoks, you have the Luke Skywalker at one of the episodes coming by, and you're like, what the hell's happening in this world? I want to know more. Well, if you want to know more, you should watch the TV show on NBC at 8 o'clock that tells the story of Luke Skywalker. And now you have people sort of going back and forth into both mediums.
Right.
And they're both feeding themselves economically through advertising and network deals and stuff like that.
Well, and the online grows because of the TV, and the TV grows because of the online.
Yeah.
So then you can sell it to an advertiser.
Right.
The online stuff.
So we have done the model where we build a TV show, and then we say, okay, if this were an online thing, which character would we take out, or what story would we tell online? And we do have one show that we're going to launch online for that particular purpose, to pay for a series, to get Doritos or whatever to pay for 10 5-minute episodes, package that, and then bring it to the studio and say, this online show did this many views all by itself, and it's the basic concept for this. Now, would you like to take these viewers and make them watch this? And we'll make sure that the online show keeps going and the TV show keeps going, and they both sort of cross-pollinate.
Cool. That works. That's good. Okay, excellent. So we haven't talked much about the writing side and the other things.
But in February 2009, they converge, right? I mean, television will no longer have a privileged access because the analog will no longer exist. So everything will be in the digital domain. Everything will be digital transmission. So the TV, it's just a matter of market share and how large your audiences are, right? I mean, because everything's going to come through the television set digitally or through the computer digitally.
Right.
So right now you have the major studios that have privilege to have that large audience, but so it'll just be content competing with content after February.
Yeah. Although what you can always count on is, it's sort of weird to think of it because I remember discovering email. I remember getting to college and being like, what is this? And then like getting completely obsessed by it, and now like getting hundreds of emails a day and be like, oh, like now it's turned into this. But yet there's the kids who are growing up now who don't remember not having email and are watching videos on their phone where I don't want to watch videos on my phone. But I mean, Europe and Asia are doing it much more than we are, and it eventually has to come here, where you'll still get content that's quick and ADD that people can, or kids can watch. I'm sure they'll grow up and they'll still be watching it, but they'll still want sort of that ADD short form content. They can still live on stuff like phones and not be as great quality as you can pay for like a $10 million TV pilot. But yeah, eventually it's all gonna come from the same box or tube.
Cool, interesting. Yeah, you know, my 7-year-old is sitting there watching these things. I'm thinking, geez, still in my other glasses. I can even see what you're doing. Anyway,
I had a question.
Yeah, please.
What you were speaking about earlier, just before his question, you mentioned how you're taking your 5-minute little segment and gonna try and get that to be successful online, and then take it to the studio and say, hey, look at its success online. We should make a TV show out of this. Do you really see this as being, I mean, because I personally feel this is going to be a great way to prove new properties instead of bringing them over from England or Europe all the time. You know, it seems like nowadays they won't put it on TV unless it's already proven in England. And it just seems silly to me. It's like, why? I mean, I understand the proving, but it's like, why do we need to pull everything from England when we have brilliant people here creating stuff? So I'm really excited by what you're doing.
We've talked to the TV department directly about it. It's so expensive, and the writer strike. It's funny. It's the writers, I think, were the people who were affected the most by the strike. And all it did was show the studios and give the online companies like Yahoo, Google, and YouTube a chance to say, wait a second, we're still functioning and everybody's looking at us now. We really have a lot of power. And that's the time when the studio said, you know what? Everybody get onto Facebook right now. And I didn't even know about it until somebody's like, have you hooked into all of the executives' Facebooks? I'm like, executive Facebook? Why do they have that? And they're like, well, the studio told them we need to figure out where people are going. Why aren't they going to watch Superman? Well, a lot of them know how to steal it off of the internet. But a lot of them are willing to wait to watch it in their underwear, in their huge plasma with their surround sound, with their friends. Or download it when it gets to DirecTV or whatever. And I think the studios are realizing that their economics on these movies are getting so huge. And part of it is that they're repurposing content so they have to having to pay for it. So TV is looking at this seriously, and I think features will as well. Right now they're still using it sort of like a complementary piece to feed their other content. But as sort of a new pilot model, let's say you get a great idea and it's not coming from J.J. Abrams or John Wells, and you're like, I really like this idea, but I don't know if I really believe in it. Well, then you can say, well, give me $500,000. And I will make an entire series. I will get it out there and on the internet and done in 6 months. And then in 6 months we can revisit this. And all it's going to cost you is $500,000. $500,000 for a pilot, basically, to prove something. When even pilots sometimes don't ever go on. Sometimes nobody ever sees them. It is a big upside for them. It's like, not only did you spend a 12th of what I would have spent, but you brought me an audience that wasn't there before, that is guaranteed to watch it when the pilot airs. Plus, they're internet people, which is invaluable. They love to tell people about it, and they love to know things. It's a lot like that. Is it the Tipping Point book, where it talks about there are these people who are the people who spread, like Perez Hilton. Who is Perez Hilton? To be Perez Hilton, but loves to spread content, and people love to give it to him. So now it's Perez Hilton.